What did you make as the season as a whole, or our first year for a Judge?
I think they have their guy going forward. He was so impressive with what he did with that team. I mean, I think every Giant fan on earth knew that they were so talent starved in so many positions. No one expected the defense to play as well as they did. They don't have, I mean, Bradbury's very good. Leonard Williams turned out to have a very good season. And they're good in spots, but they don't have that superstar on defense, right? So the defense, Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator, was very good for them. The offense was just terrible. And there's nothing that, Joe Judge he tried everything. I mean, he fired his offensive line coach mid-season because he wasn't happy with the way they were playing. So the one thing I love about Judge is he's willing to make changes quickly. But they were so talent starved. It was a miracle that they got to 6-10. I mean, there were points in that season early on where I thought this is a 2-win team. And to pull off a win against Seattle with Colt McCoy, even though he really just managed that game, that was all defensive effort. They had a good draft coming into this year. Gettleman, you got to give him credit. The free agency brought in, and Bradbury, Martinez, Graham Gano, Kyler Fackrell. They were good, very good. It was an A to an A plus, and it was a solid draft. Andrew Thomas got better as the season went on. He really struggled early, but look, Joe Judge is. I think Giant fans, if they aren't sure about much. They're not sure about Daniel Jones. They want Saquon to come back healthy. I think 90% of Giant fans are certain that Joe Judge is the right guy to lead the team. So I thought he had a very good rookie campaign considering the circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Joe Judge. I thought he was fantastic this season. He just had a lot of energy. It was a lot different than watching Pat Shurmur on the sidelines anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say Shurmur wasn't involved as much as Judge at every position, right? Like Judge was a special teams coach. So I think of like a John Harbaugh, right? He's someone who's when you're a special teams coach, you're coaching a ton of different players on that unit. And the fact that he got involved with the offensive line, I didn't mean to interrupt you either, by the way, Jake, I'm sorry. Okay. But the fact that he got involved with the offensive line and was like, wait, we drafted a guy 4th overall and he's not working out. Like, why is this happening? And the fact that he got involved, and you could see him, in practice. We're fortunate to have a press pass, so my partner Chris is at the practices, and he was all over the place. Like Shurmur would stay involved with the offense. Ben McAdoo was completely hands off and just let his coordinators do everything. Judge is involved in every aspect of the team, which is something I love. So sorry, Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think he's just fantastic, and he's not afraid to do things that a lot of coaches wouldn't have the balls to do. Would be like benching your 4th overall starting tackle because he was late for a meeting and stuff like that. I mean, it's little things, but it starts building that culture that you really like to see, that other head coaches we've had in the past just hadn't got that in them to do.
Yeah, and Golden Tate, right? He benched Golden Tate, and it didn't even hurt the team. It almost helped them in a weird way. And you thought like, oh, this is a good test. Here we go. His wife went to social media and said some things, and then all of a sudden he's benched, and it didn't hurt them at all. And actually Golden Tate didn't complain. He was pretty good about it. So yeah, I think he gained their respect so early on. And I remember Emmanuel Acho was saying something stupid about the Giants are going to have 2 wins because he's making coaches run. Like, he's holding everybody accountable. Like, it's been too easy for too long in this organization. So yeah, they got the right guy. I'm psyched about Joe Judge.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the coaching staff as a whole, bar maybe Jason Garrett, which we can get onto maybe.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Jason Garrett, I think we were 31st scoring offense in the league, which is woeful. I mean, you do miss your Saquon Barkley, but I did enjoy watching Gallman run. I thought he's a good runner. The pity about him, but if Saquon comes back, maybe we have a good wide receiver group. It changes that. But I still think we needed to get a little bit more creative on offense. Maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to judge Garrett with the talent. I agree with you, and most Giant fans, like if they fired Garrett, no one would care.
Yeah.
But I almost think like the line was so bad, the receiving weapons were not good. Barkley was out all year. It's like, can you really blame Garrett? Yeah, for some things, but not everything. So I think that's why there's some leeway with him. But I get your point. If they had let him go, no one would have cared.
Yeah, definitely. And then my only other thing, my criticism of Joe Judge would be he just doesn't seem to be aggressive in situations where you would like him to be aggressive. Some fourth down calls you would like him to go for, especially when you're in the opponent's territory. Make them moves.
Well, on the Monday night game in Philly, when he at the last second ran his punt team on the field, I forget who it was, but he wasn't looking over. It was a wide receiver, was wide open.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I could see it happening where Riley Dixon's looking over at him like, come on, like look at me. And I forget who it was. It's going to kill me because I'm going to remember when we hang up. But anyway, plays like that, like I get what you're saying, but then there were times also though, right? Like I think it was against the Browns where he went forward on fourth and didn't kick the field goal. They did some weird things last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there could be some improvement there. And I think when he went up against like the Cliff Kingsburys, that some of the younger coaches, Shanahan, I think he got his butt handed to him because the talent level on those teams were better and they had a really good coach. Like I thought he outcoached Peterson twice. I thought he outcoached Pete Carroll. But when he goes against a very good young coach and that team's talented, that's when he was exposed a little bit.